Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Friday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Good Morning Show, the 12th of September 2025 at 11 a.m. UK time. We are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite and on twitch.tv/Reganelite1. So, hello to both chats. Hope you guys are all doing well. We'll look at today's daily quota. We will look at the weather that's happening, and then we will look at all sorts of politics. So we're going to do a bit of UK, bit of world, bit of America. So a bit of all sorts is what we normally do here on Friday, guys. So quite various of topics to cover. That is for sure, guys. I know a lot of you guys have just come over from the two Davies from Dave McGuinness's morning paper show. So thank you if you have come over from there. Hope he had a nice chat with him last night on the Discord, because nobody else joined me for the mental health live stream. It's just the two of us, just having a nice wee chat for a good about 45 minutes, which is pretty nice as well. I know Ellie tried to join me in the chat, but I think your internet was cutting out a few times. That's probably why, unfortunately. But yeah, it was just me and Davey last night, so it's a nice chat there. And let's see who we got in the chat before we get going. Trip there, good to see you there. I hope you are doing well. Oh my God, what are you talking about? All sorts of things here. Really like this morning's tea. What did you have for tea? First cup, Keresis, my dry lips and throat. Oh God, I hate sore throats. They are the bane of my existence, Trip. So, irony the tea, meaning the truth, yet this history tea is steeping in multiple stories. I wonder if Reganelite will read all this. I'll read it all, but I won't say it all. Interesting. Martin Howard, good morning there. Good to see you there. Person impersonator, good morning to you. Good to see you there. Everyone saying hello to each other. Lights the bonfire, says Trip. So tired today. Slept well through. Good 8 hours sleep before my phone sent me a message to let me know if an upcoming alarm in 10 minutes. Hope I'm not coming down with something. I hope not, Martin. I hope not. Person impersonator said I couldn't sleep. I hate that. You know, when you can't sleep because you've got, I don't know, for whatever reason. It's terrible there. Good morning, Ellie. Good to see you there. Good morning, Alston Keir, one of our moderators. Hope you are doing well. Kirsty Hamilton, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Scott Hayes, good morning to you. Steve Banker, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Oh, thank you for the £2 super chat, Martin Howard, saying, didn't buy breakfast so to kick the goal off. You should have breakfast. Honestly, always have breakfast, Martin, if you can. Please make sure you have breakfast. Honestly, it's for me. I find it very important to have that 3 meals a day. I know some people don't like to have a breakfast, but to me, I find it very important. Let's just see, make sure I didn't miss anybody there. Just Suzanne, good to see you there. Just saying good afternoon, but getting error messages. Good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. It's been a while since we've seen you. Jeannie Bottle, good to see you there as well. David Gerardo, good to see you there as well. And I think that's everyone there. Oh, it's just a super chat just come in. Alliston, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Sorry, couldn't join the live or Discord. Was called out to work. No signal. Was really busy working, fixing. Sorry, Reganelite. No need to apologise, and certainly you don't need to do a super chat just to apologise, Alliston. Like I said, you've got, life is not always about being on YouTube. You got to prioritise things. So it's honestly, you did not need to put a super chat for that. So I appreciate the super chat, honestly, but you don't need to apologise for not coming. Like I said, I've said this to many people. Like, you can't always be there for every single YouTuber, every single live chat, because we all have lives to deal with. So it's totally fine. You don't need to apologize, honestly. Everyone's got places and things to do, and especially when it comes to work. So totally understandable. Right, guys, let's get going, because we got only an hour, and I actually have to go out and get my lunch because I realized I didn't have lunch. So I haven't got lunch at home, so I need to go out and do that. So here is today's daily quota. It's an unknown one there. And just a reminder, if you guys want to check out, if you want to have a look at any of it owns there it is, www.pennylittlethoughts.com, if you want your own, guys, just for reference there as well. So here is today's one for the 12th of September. So some days life is all about your dreams, hopes and visions of the future. But there are some days where life is just about putting one foot in front of the other. And that's okay. I'll read it one more time. That some days life is all about your dreams, hopes and visions of the future. But there are some days where life is just about putting one foot in front of the other, and that's okay. It is. Unfortunately, we're not going to see tomorrow's one because I'm not doing a live stream. Sorry, guys. And you're not going to see Sunday's one either. But I will be posting them on my socials and on Discord if you guys want to see them. But I will have Monday's one ready for you guys. That is for sure. Interesting one for Wednesday, for Monday, for you guys there. John, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Don't beat yourself up about it, Alistair. You know, don't beat yourself up about it. It's all good. I'm going to be doing another one in December anyway. I'm going to be doing another one in December, so it's all good. Right, guys, let's get going. Let's start. Let's see what else is happening. We'll start with the weather here. So this is from the BBC weather app map, just for reference for people want to know what I'm using here. This is 7 o'clock today. This is some of the temperatures here and some of what the forecast is here. So you can see there, Rome, Nice, 24 degrees. Madrid, Lisbon, 28, 24. Zagreb, 20 there. Athens, 28. Prague, 16. Bern, 15. Brussels, Paris, 16, 17, 15. Respectfully there. London, Manchester, Belfast, Edinburgh, 13, 14, and 15. Oslo, there, up at 15 there. Let me set the wind pressures on as well. So let's have a look. This is what we are getting today. If I'm going to scroll back a little bit, bear in mind it is 11 o'clock at the moment. So there will be some scattered showers here and there around, and some strong winds in parts as well of the UK here. So you will get some raindrops here and there about places there. It may be a little bit more up in Scotland than I would say in other parts of the UK. But temperatures not too bad either. But might be a bit windy in some parts there. Dublin and Belfast 13 there, respectfully there, guys. Good morning, John Doe T sir. Good morning, tea and pancakes here. I love pancakes. I would love to have pancakes. I like mine with syrup and sugar. That's how terrible I am, because I have a sweet tooth, believe it or not. There. And Tiro Waterman on Twitch. Good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. So yeah, that is the weather forecast for today. Let's have a look at tomorrow, guys. So tomorrow's 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. You can see some of the temperatures, and again, bits of showers of rain and forecast. Let's zoom back out a second and just see, like, are we getting any big showers? So you may get some showers overnight in some parts of the UK there. But mainly it's a lot of scattered showers, pretty much from 1 o'clock. What about in the afternoon? Yeah, not too much here, so it's not going to be too bad there, guys. Temperatures at 17 degrees London, Cardiff 14 degrees. If you just zoom a little bit in, we'll just have a quick look at some of the other temperatures here. Brighton, Portsmouth 16, 17 respectfully there. Marlborough, Warmonger 14, 15 respectfully there. Temperatures 14, 15. Again, nothing too bad really there, but you would expect these around these seasons. And again, like I said, there's going to be rain showers here and there and everywhere. Pretty much mainly cloudy days is what we're expecting, as you would around September anyway. But again, these temperatures are nothing too serious here. Even on the east of England, Kings Leon and Norwich 17, 17 respectfully there. Just going a bit further up, 15, 16, 17 degrees in some parts of north of England and the Midlands. Don't worry, guys, we'll come to the news after the weather. Don't worry. 13, 15 for those who are new here. 13, 15, 12 degrees again in some parts from the north of England into the south of Scotland here. Edinburgh, Glasgow 14 and 12 respectfully there. Dunbar 15, Oban 12, Dundee 14, Thornbury there 12, Fort Williams 13, Stonehaven, Aberdeen 14, 15, Fraserburgh 14 if I said that right, Inverness 15 there, Stoneway 13 there, Froscoe 13 there, and I'll go even as far up as Lentworth there of 14 there. But don't normally mention that island up there, to be fair. Just a bit on Northern Ireland. Don't normally cover Northern Ireland, but yeah, temperatures 13 degrees chilly, but rain, which is pretty normal for these parts. Other Man, Castletown 14, 14, 14 respectfully there. So that's some of the forecasts for Saturday afternoon. Let's have a look at what Sunday is going to be predicting. I think, yeah, we were predicting a major shower, wasn't we? Yeah, so Sunday, yeah, we predicted it from yesterday. So Sunday, over the day of Sunday, we can see here, we're going to be getting this big blob of shower going to be coming over us, guys, on Sunday. So do bear that in mind. Oh, I got to travel back in that storm. Not looking forward to it. I really hope it doesn't disrupt the trains. Really hope not. This is Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. 16, 15, 17 degrees. Temperatures there. Going to be high winds as well. Take precautions as well. So, yeah, high winds of 16. Really high gusts of winds. Big blob of rain. As you can literally see, you can't even see Wales because it's completely covered in the rain. But yeah, it's not so much about the temperatures. It's more about the wind, the rain that you need to be worried about over on Sunday as well. Again, temperatures, nothing really to worrying about. Again, I think that, yeah, it's also going to hit Scotland. It probably hits Scotland at around 7 o'clock. Yeah. So pretty much around 7 o'clock in the evening on Sunday is when it's going to hit you guys there as well. But it has already gone through Northern Ireland there. Those there. So yeah, do be careful of that. Let's have a quick look at Monday before we wrap up and look at the news. Temperatures Monday afternoon. Actually, let's just scroll back a second. Let's just see what the rain's going to be like on Monday. 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 13 o'clock. So nothing. So bits of scattered showers here and there. Got a big puddle of water coming. On Monday. So you're going to get some places, parts of Scotland, going to get water overnight, and some throughout the whole day on Monday. So yeah, for those up in Scotland and Northern Ireland, going to be soggy and wet is a good warning. Temperatures 14, 18, nothing that really can't handle. London 18 September. 17, 16, temperatures 15. I'm so sick of the warm temperatures. I really wanted to cool down. 16 degrees in some parts here. Again, it's more the winds. You can see by the wind actually gauges there. The winds are very high, 26, 22. So there's going to be high gusts of wind in around the UK. So do bear that in mind. Going to be much higher winds. So please be careful out there on Monday. So it's going to be much, much more windier from the looks of it. You can see there the numbers are much, much higher. So do be careful on Monday, guys. Just bear in mind the wind. It may be disruptive to your travel if you're traveling to work or whatnot as well. So bear that in mind. Maybe it might be worth leaving a bit earlier, possibly, to get to where you need to go to. But yeah, temperatures not too bad. Again, not too worried about temperatures. There will be some scattered showers of here and there and around. The winds aren't as bad down the south of England as they look to be in Scotland, but there are some places where it is going to be high winds in some parts. So just bear that in mind there. Again, temperatures not too folly, but again, you're going to get lots of rain again for Monday. But we will look at that and the rest of the week on Monday for you guys. But yeah, that is the weather report. So basically, the main point is wind, rain, brolly, raincoat. Take precautions is the best thing I have for you guys there. Right, let's go and see what's happening in all the news. We're going to try and cover as much as we possibly can. We are going to start, like I always like to kind of start in different places rather, because usually I normally start with Guardian, Al Jazeera, and then Associated Press. I'm going to try and mix things up a little bit, try and mix things up again if I can for you guys. So we're going to start with the Times here. So the Times here on the front of politics, they have the Israeli ambassador, we must address the barbarism in the world. A barbarism in the world. You know, you're right. We do need to address the barbarism in the world. It's almost as if we're ignoring the barbarism that's happening on your doorstep as well. Yeah, I'm not going to... I don't think I want to take you there. Tipsy Hovry, who is leaving the post, has shown video of Hamas attacks and is a firm Netanyahu ally. Diplomacy says she must never mean appeasement. But obviously, you know, starving children is perfectly acceptable in Israel. You know, it's perfectly acceptable to starve children for the benefit of Israel. That's perfectly all right there for you, obviously, because it's just not your kids, is it? Yeah. Minister pushed for fresh welfare reforms to get people off benefits. I just don't understand that there's a cost of living crisis and people can't afford to pay ends meet, but we don't want to look at that. Mandelson should never have been appointed, said minister. Yeah, no shit. I mean, the warning signs were there, but he still went ahead with the appointment. Or the system, shall we say, went ahead with the appointment. So that's, again, who is running to replace Mandelson as US ambassador. I'm not really too fussed right now. Sack minister in contest for Labour deputy leadership. Reform wants to scrap neutral civil service and hire anti ECHR staff. Yep, because they want to take away our human rights. They want to take away your human rights as well. It's very important that they take away all our human rights, guys. They want to do that. Oop, I've messed up my chat filter now. I want all chat. There we go. Sorry. Well, Angry Pagan, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Yeah, so they want to take all our human rights away, not just migrants. Don't be very clear about that. Mandelson. I can't open any of these because they're all behind paywalls because the Times are bastards for doing that. No chance of a fall coming for Mandelson after the latest scandal. Richard Burnham's the head of the game in the deputy race, or is he? Yeah, I'm not going to hold much hope for. I think he's already. I think it's already a 2-horse race, if I'm honest. But let's see the front of the Times. What they got here. Watch the moment Charlie Kirk shooting suspect leaps from the building. I don't know if you can see that clip in the top right hand corner there. You can see the shooter jumping off the building and making a break for it. At the time of this live stream, guys, the suspect has still not been apprehended for it. Get J.K. Rowling's next. Blue Sky used to celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. Who is celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk? I'm not seeing that on Blue Sky. I don't think anyone should be celebrating. Yeah, that's just yeah. They don't represent. The people who celebrate that do not represent the left in any way, shape, or form. Ambassador wants to fight on. The PM has no way out. Mrs. Push Fresh welfare reforms know about that already. Prince Harry visits Ukraine. Yeah, Harry went to Ukraine, guys. Very interesting. Yeah. What else is there? Just out of curiosity. Tourists in Scotland to get tea plates after surge in the Highland crashes. I will not comment on that. I'll let Dave McGuinness, if he's in the chat, or my Scottish friends, respond to that one. Theresa May leads opposition to assisting dying bill in law. Yeah, because she doesn't want people to have the right to die. She doesn't want people having that right. Wants to take that away. UK economy shows zero growth in July. Yep. It's not doing well, guys. Not doing well. A baby Antilia rides on its mother's back, and other news in pictures. Oh, that's so sweet. I like that. That's nice. It's always nice to see some pictures like that. That is all from the Times again, guys. Let's have a switch gears. This is a story I definitely want. There's a story from CNN that I wanted to touch on anyway. I'm doing a short video that's coming out already, but I still wanted to touch on this one either way. What feed should I use? Should I use this one? I can use this one, I suppose. Yeah, I'll use this one. I'm not interested in talking about the Online Safety Act. I've already talked about it, Tim, on Twitch. Prince Harry making a surprise visit. Where is it? Yeah, this one. So this is one of the big stories that's happened, guys. So Brazil's former president, Jair Bolsonaro, has been convicted of plotting a coup, and he's been sentenced to over 27 years in prison. So Brazil's former president, Jair Bolsonaro, has been found guilty of attempting to overturn the country's 2022 election with a plot, prosecutors say, including plans to assassinate the president-elect in a bid to cling to power. So 4 out of 5 justices on the Brazilian Supreme Court panel voted to convict Bolsonaro on all 5 counts in the landmark case, and to sentence him to 27 years and 3 months in prison. Bolsonaro has been convicted of plotting a coup d'etat, taking part in the armed criminal organization, attempting to abolish Brazil's democratic order by force, committing violent acts against the state institution, and damaging protected public property during the storming of the government buildings by supporters on the 8th of January 2023. Parts of the coup's plot, the prosecutors allege, involving a plan to potentially use explosives, weapons of war, and poison to assassinate leftist President Luiz Algo Lula da Silva, and his Vice President Geraldo Alckmin, and Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes, who oversaw Bolsonaro's trial. Bolsonaro and his other defendants in the trial have denied any wrongdoing. The evidence against Bolsonaro is largely centered on how he tried to stay in power after losing the presidential election in 2022 to Luiz da Silva. Federal police said Bolsonaro had full knowledge of the plan to overturn the election results, pressured the military to intervene, and even created a parallel crisis management office to run the government. Yeah, this is how dangerous. This is how crazy it was. Now, I have said this, guys, in the run-up to this, whatever the verdict was going to be, that there was going to be unrest because Bolsonaro, for all the things that he has done, he still has a huge amount of support. You know, he has those Trumpian supporters in Brazil, and they will be out in force causing chaos as a direct result of this verdict. So there will be chaos in Brazil for this. So obviously the police are going to have a hard time on their hands over the next couple of days because of the decision of this. So it's very so remember it's like Nigel Farage has a huge popularity here, like Donald Trump has a huge popularity in America. Bolsonaro still will have a huge popularity behind him, even if the fact that he's been found guilty. So prosecutors had alleged that the coup plot began in 2021 with efforts to undermine the public trust in the electoral system after Bolsonaro's defeat in the 2022 election. So prosecutors said defendants attempted to overturn the results by encouraging Bolsonaro supporters to mobilize in Brasilia, where they stormed and vandalized the 3 seats of government on January 8, 2023. This was basically their own version of what happened in America. The only difference between America and Brazil is that actually Brazil have actually taken responsibility for what happened and actually wanted to make sure that nothing like that ever happens again. Whereas in America, they've overturned it, and the people who were responsible for the riots that took place in America are not only have been given pardons by President Donald Trump, but I covered this a while ago, that they're actually looking for compensation as well. That's how insane it is. Morales, who was the first justice to cast a guilty vote on Tuesday, said the defendants was committing all criminal offences impunity by the Attorney General Office. Justice Figueroa, Carmen Luchiga, and Cristiano Zane also voted to convict Bolsonaro. But yeah, it's going to be a polarised. Defensive lawyers could still file appeals, but once those challenges are exhausted, the ruling becomes final and any prison terms can be enforced. Okay, so it's not completely over, guys. There are still appeals that could still take in place. So that's really important. The trial comes ahead of the 2026 general election. Has been polarised Brazil, and over the weekend, thousands of Bolsonaro supporters filed the streets on the country's Independence Day to protect the legal proceedings. Yeah, I did say there was going to be like that. Yeah, so and obviously Donald Trump is obviously mad about it, which is why Donald Trump imposed a 50% tariff on Brazil because obviously that's his friend and buddy. So yeah, it's gonna be chaos in Brazil for the next couple of days. That is for sure. But I really hope it all works out in the end. I've got to go. No worries, personality effects for popping in. Much appreciated. I actually meant the Brazil people, but yeah, sure. Wet t-shirts work too. Okay. Chaos in Brazil. How? I haven't got a passport. No, you won't need to go there then. Isn't Brazil been in chaos? Brazil has been a lot more. I would say Brazil has been a lot more calmer since when the new president came in. But obviously, this case and this trial on Bolsonaro has obviously stirred things up, and the country is divided. There is a division in the country, and I think it's because of him and some of the things that he has done. So that was unfortunately going to happen, guys. South Sudan's vice president is charged with treason and murder. Oh God, how did I miss this story in my short video finds? He's been charged with murder, treason, and crimes against humanity for his alleged involvement in attacks in an ethnic militia against federal forces back in March, the Justice Minister said on Thursday. Hours after the minister's announcement, President Salva Kiir suspended Maya from his post, a decree read on the state radio saying without giving more details. The charges against Machar and his suspension escalate a feud between the country's two main political camps, the other led by Kiir, which face off in the 2013-2018 civil war, which an estimated 400,000 people died. Oh yeah, the civil war, of course. Kiir was also suspended. Petroleum Minister Purit Kang Kiao, who was charged alongside Machar, the decree said Machar had been under house arrest since March in connection with attacks by the White Army militia in the northeastern town in this year. International powers have repeatedly called for Machar's release, warning his detention could tip the country back into civil war. Evidence further revealed that the White Army, operating under the command and influence of certain leaders in the Sudan's People Liberation Army movement, in opposition the SPLM IAO, including Dr. Raig Machateni, Justice Minister James Cole told reporters. While the government of the Republic of South Sudan appreciates the engagement of international partners, public and media on this year, this matter is now subdued, he said. Yeah, South Sudan is it's always tipping on that edge of another civil war. They're very much tipping on it. It's certainly not doing well. Lots of people obviously from Sudan fled to South Sudan, but the country is nowhere near stable. It's very volatile right now. What else is there? US and Japan begin exercises, including missiles that China calls a threat. South Korea's president says Georgia's ICE raids could have considerable impact on direct US investment from his country. Yes, so some of you guys may remember that that a raid took place in Georgia on a factory that was hosting South Korean workers. And they basically got ICE raided it, and all the people working there were basically South Korea basically said, you guys all need to come home. Basically from it. So yeah, the ICE raid on more than 300 South Korean workers in Georgia could impact future South Korean investment in the US, its president said on Thursday, adding that the fallout had created a very confusing situation for Korean companies there. His comments come as South Korea reels from the raids, one of the largest by US immigration enforcement agents in recent years, and which threatens to create a rift between the two close partners that have long cooperated on military and economic matters. And the thing is right, nobody expected, here's the thing, I think we talked about this anyway, but when you expected ICE to do raids, you didn't expect them to target South Koreans or Asians specifically. You expect them to target just Muslims, Middle Eastern people, Africans, but you didn't expect them to target South Koreans here. But no, they're targeting literally anyone, the ICE raiders. It's quite, and it's really, really bad, and because I don't think I don't know obviously the numbers and statistics, but you would think that there would be more undocumented migrants from other continents rather than Asia in America. I'm just speculating there. South Korean business in the US needs to build facilities, install equipment, start up factories which require skilled technicians. Jailing Meng said at a press conference that marked his 100th day in office. Yeah, America's going to get really buggered. They are really going to get buggered, that's for sure. Is what I'm using here. It's a caveat I got online. You guys talking about something there, something else there. The issue that could have a considerable impact in foreign direct investment in the US, he said. We are urging the US to normalize the visa process related to investment, whether by securing sufficient visa quotas or by creating new categories of visa. These comments come as South Korea workers detained in Georgia prepared to depart Atlanta on Thursday's flight and arrive in Seoul on Friday. I believe they've already arrived, I think I saw from another article. They will return home to a country that has been dismayed on their behalf, with many viewers viewing the images as shackled workers being marched into buses as the betrayal of bilateral friendships falls over more than 7 decades since the end of the Korean War. Look, this is how they're treating them. This is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. On Thursday, South Korean Foreign Ministry said President Donald Trump had temporarily paused the deportation process to discuss the workers' potential future in the US. So now you realize, maybe we shouldn't deport them. Maybe they'll be useful to us. President Trump temporarily paused the procedure in order to listen to our position on whether it would be possible for our nationals, all who are skilled workers, to continue working in the US, the Foreign Ministry said in a statement. Oh my bloody God. The South Korean side made it clear that under no circumstances should there be delays in their departure and return, and that swift and safe movement in our nationals should be ensured, he said. This once again puts people off going to America, you know. They are really, really suffering from the tourism. Tourism is really suffering. Industry is really suffering in America right now because of all this. They really, really are. HNC said boat struck by drone to this import. That's old news. We covered that already. Trump reacts to Botswana's conviction. I'm sure he's just going to say it's an absolute disgrace. Any other stories here that we don't know about? Some of these are old. Let's go to the CNN, just the main page of CNN, see what they there. New video shows suspecting Charlie Kirk's murder. Yep, we've seen this video. Well, you can see it a lot closer now of him jumping down, making a run for it. They still don't have, like, the image some of you guys may have seen in newspapers. By the way, I just want to make this clear that some of you guys may have seen the picture and images of a suspect. There's no guarantee that that's the actual person responsible. It's possible it could be him, but they haven't actually said that this is definitely the person. But it's someone that they want to talk to, that's for sure. What else is there? South Korean workers, talked about that. Any other stories here? Why pesticides could threaten MAGA, HMLA, a political divorce. I also saw that Donald Trump is not completely on board, by the way, with Kennedy's complaints about vaccines. He's not completely on board. Because he's actually said that some vaccines are really good as well. Good morning, Mithril. Hope you are doing well. And Witchy Golf, good to see you both there. Anybody else I haven't said hello? Hope you guys are all doing well. Just a reminder, guys, if you can help me reach today's super chat goal, it'd be greatly appreciated. We just need 3 more to hit today's goal, minimum of £2. If you can support, please do. If not, just hit that like button, share this across social media, subscribe, that usual stuff. If you can do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Right, let's go to the Associated Press and see what they're saying here. So this is the image that I was talking about here. So yeah, this image is here, guys. Now, this doesn't, I want to make it clear, and I've watched 1 or 2 videos on this. This does not, just because we've got an image of somebody, of a suspect, does not mean this is the person responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It's very, very important to make that distinction there. It doesn't necessarily mean that. And unfortunately, the picture is not that great. So you can easily mitigate yourself from looking like that. And the FBI director who's supposed to be finding it is doing an absolute crap job, which unfortunately is not surprising, if I'm honest. Officials plead for help in finding the person who assassinated Charlie Kirk on a Utah College campus. Choose Your America in the aftermath of slaying, a snapshot of the fractured nation. Kids in current events help them to deal with what they see around them. Matthew Dillon firing begins on the flood of people facing consequences for their comments on Kirk's death. Yeah, anyone who I really, really mean this. Like if you celebrate Charlie Kirk's death, regardless of your political differences, you're an asshole. You're an absolute fucking prick. Like whatever you might like. I hate this guy because of things that he has said. But but celebrating his assassination is just immoral and wrong in so many ways. I'll cover this in a short on Patreon. The MSNBC political analyst who lost his job shortly after on-air comments about conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination was the first of many figures to face consequences on Thursday for public statements or actions about the shooting. I'm not going to talk about it because then I'm not going to talk too much about that because that was on Patreon there. But I'm just seeing any others here. A Florida reporter was suspended for questioning a post to a congressman. Comic book writer lost her job for social media posts, as did educators in Mississippi and Tennessee. CBS The Good Morning host Natalie Burr was attacked for a question. An Arizona sports presenter and a Carolina Panthers public relations official both lost jobs. An anonymous registered website pledged to expose Charlie murderers and asked people to offer tips about people who were supporting political violence online. The site published a list of running lists Thursday of targeting posts along with names, locations, and employees of people who posted them. With some posts containing incendiary language, others didn't appear to celebrate the shooting or glorify violence. There were several similar effects, including one by activist Scott Pesso, who asked his followers about teachers who supposedly celebrated Kirk's assassination and posted the findings on X. Honestly, I don't think there's going to be teachers out there doing that, but again, I've not seen that personally. But yeah, apparently there's lots of people have been. Yeah, the right are taking full advantage of this, and basically it's going to very, very close to triggering a civil war, possibly. This whole thing, they're using it as a political weapon, obviously the assassination, as they would, which is why the person responsible, I've said this yesterday and I said this today, the person responsible for doing this has not helped anyone. It's not helped the political left, it's not helped himself, it's not helped anyone. All it's done is embolden the right even more, emboldening their views. It's not helped anyone. You've not solved anything. All you've done is made things worse. Authorities say student, however, been radicalized, 5 revolver at Colorado school, wounded 2 there. Trump threatens Portland with troops to quell protest. The mayor said it's not needed. What's happening in Portland? Gas mask dangles from their backpacker. She joins a double couple outside U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement building in Portland, just as she managed night since July. Protesters towed a blue line across the building's door. Government property do not block. No one's injured. Disruption, while disruption in residents. I wish you'd be a bit more clear about what this is about. It's not very clear about what it's about. I hate that when it's not. It doesn't actually say what it's about, and it just goes on about some different story there. What else is there? I think that's next door making noise. Russia and Belarus launched military exercise that fuel Western concerns. I've covered that in a short video. Suspect in Trump's assassination attempt veers off topic and forfeits opening statement and trial. Well, that's not a very good sign for you. New Mexico is the first state to promise free childcare for all families. promising free childcare to all families in New Mexico. Wow, that's a big statement. New Mexico governor is promising universal free childcare to families of all income levels. The governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham, announced her plans this week, saying she wants to leverage a financial windfall from oil and gas production to help more parents by removing the state's income eligibility limit starting on the 1st of November. Rules for the program are being hashed out, and lawmakers still have to approve funding, but New Mexico is already several steps ahead of other states when it comes to subsidizing childcare. The latest initiative expands on previous early childhood education investments by extending across another 12,000 children, making low-interest loans available to spur construction of new childcare centres as demand surge. Grisham said life-changing for parents to have a free childcare since it means more money can be spent on utilities and groceries. Americans overwhelmingly view the cost of childcare as a significant issue, but there are deep divisions over what the government role should be in addressing it, mainly whether it should foot the cost, or who should foot the cost, I think is what it's meant to say there. Many states are limited in what they can take on if President Donald Trump's administration cuts or freezes billions of dollars in education funding. He hopes the initiative stirs conservation beyond New Mexico. My hope is that as we watch elections take hold around the country, that our congressional candidates are talking more about these investments. Our liberal national candidates are talking about these investments in childcare, and second-term Democrats said. The concept of free childcare has been embraced by lawmakers, including Zohran Mamdani. Of course he would. The Democratic nominee for mayor of New York City, though he proposed tax hikes, Oregon's most populous country ramped up its universal preschool program this year despite funding issues, and enthusiasm for early childhood education spawns the creation of last year of dedicated state agency in Illinois. This is a really good. It's nice to hear a good news story from America. New Mexico in 2020 began diverting surplus government income, linking the surge in oil and gas production to a trust for early childhood education. The balance is nearly $10 billion, with about $500 million in investment earnings being funneled each year to early childhood education programs. The childcare expansion will draw on new savings, some federal funding, and request that state legislators provide an additional $120 million annually. That's a 26% increase over the current spending of $463 million, the Congressional spokesperson Michael Coleman said. Democratic-led legislature embarked an entitlement program before repeatedly rejecting paid family leave for the private sector. Republican lawmakers are concerned that the governor's latest plans will result in a handout for wealthy families. Yeah, but it needs to be like, here's the thing. Like, I'm someone who believes in universal basic income, and I understand the point of wasting your money, giving it to people who probably don't need it, like the more wealthiest people. But you know, if you're giving it to everyone, you're not discriminating. So I really hope it comes to fruition. It's a very good story. We need to hear more positive stories in America, because we don't hear enough of them. Israeli soldiers and their mothers increasingly reject calls to return to Gaza. What is this about? So Israeli calls up tens of thousands of reservists for its invasion of Gaza City. A growing number of soldiers and their mothers are saying no. There are no official figures, but newly formed groups are broadcasting their refusal to serve, despite the risk of imprisonment, as a new phenomenon in the nearly 2-year war sparks no apparent effect on military operations. The defiance is emerging as Israel has joined mass protests accusing Prime Minister of prolonging the war for political purposes instead of reaching a deal with Hamas to bring the remaining 48 hostages. Look, we already know what the plan is. I'm glad that more and more people are saying no, and I'm glad mothers are coming out and saying no to it as well. This is benefiting us. This is benefiting us. This benefit the fight against because we want this war to end. Good for them for standing up and saying no, because that war is horrifying. It's having such a psychological effect on people, that is for sure as well. About 20 minutes left here. Just have a quick look in the comments. You guys are talking about something else. Huge legal cannabis farm told to cut the smell or risk closure, and CNN International, says one angry pagan there. I missed that one. Poor waste management, land conversion worse than deadly bar floods, says Indonesia's environmental minister. I actually covered that on a short video, but you won't see that till Monday midnight. Green energy and helping children is good, so Trump will oppose it. Yep, that's a genie bottle there. Absolutely. 10 million flood protection schemes for River Stain in Bruce Creek officially open today after 2 years of work. The Express and Star. Yeah, I don't open Express and Star because of too many cookies. That's why I don't. Some websites I can't open, guys, because of cookies. If there's one or two media outlets that I don't cover, it's because some of them get flooded with too much cookies, and it's enough on my computer as it is. Right, let's have a look at some UK news. We have a look, try to be as diverse as I possibly can. Politics here. We will build 1.5 million homes. News Housing Secretary insists. I'm sure you will. Labour MP suspended States Minister after Manderson and Rayner chaos. Scottish Secretary Douglas Alexander said Labour MPs will be feeling despondent following a chaotic week, which has seen the sacking of Lord Manderson and the resignation of Angela Rayner. Look, I said this at the time. I said it was right for him to sack Peter Mandelson, and it's better that he takes the hit now, and hopefully next week he'll bounce back. I say hopefully in his position, but yeah, I do think there's a ticking time bomb on Keir Starmer's reign as Prime Minister. Keir Starmer's facing questions over the appointment. Yep. Government says Mandelson was dismissed after emails were published, which Pearce shows. MPs and government insiders are increasingly blaming the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, for the appointment. What a surprise. Morgan McSweeney is the one guys. Once again, the Morgan McSweeney is once again taking the brunt of the blame again. But you know, the figurehead is Keir Starmer, so he has to take the public blame. But behind the scenes, it's Morgan McSweeney once again. Several senior Labour figures claim that McSweeney had been resisting the inevitability of Manderson's departure on Wednesday, with one insider describing cold, hard fury among those in Downing Street about the episode. So basically, we can speculate that there was basically a bit of a rough-up of Sweeney basically vowing, saying, no, you've got to defend him. No, you've got to keep him. And everyone basically saying, you cannot defend this. We cannot go out there and defend this. This is ridiculous. However, another senior Downing Street source claimed that this was nonsense, saying that by Wednesday afternoon, McSweeney was adamant that Manderson's position was untenable. Okay, sure. Government ministers said they were starting to wonder how sustainable it would be if McSweeney to stay in post. If they get rid of McSweeney, things will be very, very different in that Labour government, guys. One Labour MP said panic has started to set in, urging the Prime Minister to get a grip, and warning that only publishing correspondence between Number 10 McSweeney and Lord Manderson before his appointment as ambassador would put this to bed. Another MP said it's quite clear the buck should stop with him. When Sugay was Chief of Staff, Manderson wasn't even on the shortlist. It was disgusting. That tells you a lot. One MP is basically saying when Sugay was Chief of Staff, he wasn't even on the shortlist. Another said the handling of the situation had been a shambles. Yep, no joke, no, of course. Speaking to BBC Breakfast, Alexander said, in retrospect, of course, it's been known as what is known now, and the appointment wouldn't have been made. Acknowledging it's been a difficult week for Labour. Yeah, no shit. Many of us were devastated by Andrew Rayner's departure from the government last week. These are not the headlines any of us in government or parliament would want or choose as fact. Blah, blah, blah. Try to defend yourself. Conservative frontbencher Alex Farnham said his party would force a vote in Parliament to release the documents that the Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary were shown before appointing Lord Manderson. I agree with this. I want to see this as well. Those documents exist and they will be on file, so it's inconvenient that we would not have been shown concerns raised by security service through the vetting process, he told BBC Breakfast. Yep. Liberal Democrats said there should be a review of vetting procedures. Yes, maybe as well. Of course, Nigel Farage says it was an enormous talent. Said Lord Manderson was enormously talented bloke, but his appointment was a serious misjudgment from the Prime Minister. Yeah, he has to say this, obviously, to appease Trump. I think McSweeney's role is now considerably in doubt. Some Labour MPs expressed anger how the situation in Manderson has been handled. Yep, of course. Lord Manderson's association was publicly known as he was given the Washington job. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Really bad, guys. Dirty Snake, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Ridiculous, guys. What else is there? UK economy saw zero growth. Why did Starmer take the risk of appointing Peter Mandelson? Maybe it wasn't him, because he wasn't even on the first list. Cadbury leader quits a Labour and backs Plaid Cymru. Good for you. Good for you. I'm really, I'm glad. I would rather see a Plaid Cymru in control of the Welsh government rather than Labour. They are overdue a new party. Long overdue. Man arrested over the fire at Labour MP's office. Yesterday we talked briefly about this, but it looks like someone has been arrested for doing that, for causing that fire at the MP's office yesterday. Number 10 files raises questions over whether Tory donations were legal. I do plan to cover, just quickly, I'll let you guys know. So I am planning to cover the Boris files if I get time to record it today. And I'll put that premiere video out over on Saturday or Sunday for you guys to have a look at there as well. Just wanted to let you guys know. Also, I have recorded shorts already for the weekend. And I've already recorded them for Monday. Just haven't put them out yet for members yet. But they'll be available soon. And also, what else is there in my brain? Yes, I recorded videos for Monday for Patreon and Rumble, so I don't have to chase that up on Monday as well. And what else is there? And I'd like to hit today's Super Chat goal as well, so if you guys can help me get over the line before 12 o'clock, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. There are a lot of piss and Labour MPs. A lot of Labour MPs are pissed at the moment for multiple reasons. Yeah, there's quite a lot of reasons Labour MPs are upset. But you know, the real writing began for me was when the whole disability thing came up. That was when it was like, yeah, you guys have really fucking lost it. Like, you really lost it. And that was Morgan McSweeney again. And like, it was just a case. And the worst thing about that all was they were more concerned about trying to save money than it was actually about helping people get into work. That whole debacle. My Cardiff area just won a Welsh Green seat in the county by-election, stolen from a staunchy Labour stronghold. Yeah, I did. Oh, that's very good, Dirty. Good to hear that. I know that Greens have. I did hear that Green made gains somewhere a few days ago, so that's good to hear. Anything else here that we don't know about? Let's have a quick look at the front of UK. We'll switch gears in a moment. Please come forward, Stephanie. Stephen Lawrence's mum says to witness as review begins. Their office warns of wind and rain, which we looked at already. Prince Harry makes a visit to Ukraine. Water firms ban tankers from transporting water for Billionaires Lake. What the hell is this? Billionaires Lake? Southern Water has warned tanker companies to stop delivering its water to the Wiltshire estate of an American billionaire. Some of it was recently used entirely illegally to help fill a lake, despite a hosepipe ban being in place for domestic users. Wow, you bastard. Multiple water tankers have been filmed both day and night by local residents filming up from the sandpipes as part of a neighbourhood, Hampshire, where a drought order is in place. The BBC have been told that those tankers went to Coalhouse Park, a 2,500-acre estate owned by Stephen Schwarzman, who's one of the world's richest men and the financial backer of US President Donald Trump. Spokesperson for him confirmed that a small proportion of the water transported had very recently been used to help fill a new lake, but said the water had been sourced through licensed providers responsible for the lawful and proper extraction and delivery. They said that following the Southern Water request, supply of water to the lake has been adjusted. Despite the ongoing drought, the tankers are legally allowed to take the water in Hampshire under license because construction work is not domestic and therefore not covered by current drought restrictions. However, Tim McMahon, Southern Water's managing director, said he was appalled by the use of this water and said that companies had imposed an immediate ban on tankers extracting from the standpipes. Southern Water said it did not know exactly how much water had been taken, but there had been a spike in last week's with significant amounts taken, with other users also making of the standpipes, and it was impossible to say who had taken more. The water firm, which serves more than 2 million customers, said it was the first alert by residents in Andover who had spotted the tankers coming and going from standpipes. Among them was Lawrence Leagues and an air conditioning inspector who told the BBC they'd been waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to follow the tankers from the standpipes and over to the estate 8 miles away, just over the border of Wiltshire, which is not subject to a drought order at present. We think there have been over 30 tankers a day, 7 days a week. There's a lot of water. I work out that about 30 tankers means a million litres a day, something like that. He said it's been going on for the past few months, popping in to coordinate a network of neighbours who took turning films to follow the tankers. One of those, Trevor, said, "I think we might be using they might be using the water to fill the lake." He makes notes of tankers passing his kitchen window and sends them to Lawrence. At the same time, we're on a hosepipe ban. It's incredibly outrageous. It is. Estimated worth of more than 30 billion, having founded Blackstone, one of the biggest investment funds in the world. He's been renovating 2,500 acres, 17th century shooting estate since he bought it in 2020 for estimated £80 million. It involves extensive redevelopment and construction of a new lake. A statement from Blackstone said the suggestion that the new owners and Coastal violate water regulations is false and misleading. No one is saying that you're breaking violations. What you're doing is you're taking water. You're taking water legally, which is while other people have a hosepipe ban in the area, which is not right. They have taken extraordinary care to ensure the restoration of the property complies with all local laws and regulations. Most recently, as construction winds down, expected to be completed very soon, the proportion of transported water has been used in connection with irrigation of the lake. I hate this story. I hate this story so much. This is so infuriating. I hate this story so much. I'm going to save that story. I want to save it for I'm going to send that to someone. Thank you, Alliston Keir and Kirsty Hamilton for the £2 and £1.99 super chats there to help reach today's super chat goal. Alliston Keir there just chopped another £2 super chat to help reach the target. Thank you guys for reaching the target. Really appreciate it, guys. Yeah, to help get over the line. Really appreciate it. Certainly I've served this timeline, that's for sure. Says Dirtree. I'm salty as fuck over it. Yeah, that story about the billionaire is just absolutely bloody infuriating. Biker gifted around the world trip theft victim. What happened here? Content creator from India who has his motorbike stolen 15,000 miles into the round the world challenge in the UK was left speechless after being gifted a new motorbike. Oh! He had travelled through 17 countries on the black and white and orange KTM 390 adventure before it was stolen while parked at Wellington Park in Nottingham on the 28th of August. Oh my god, that's... After his story made international headlines, the off-road bike sent to Maxwell Woodhouse offered to get him back on the road. His collection on the motorbike on Thursday, although his passport and licence were also stolen, paperwork kept him on 2 feet, not 2 wheels, for at least 2 weeks. He was given a new bike. Since the theft, Bissau has received messages offering help, clothing and replacement bikes, including an offer from the production company behind the Long Way Home TV series fronted by actor Ewan McGregor and TV presenter Charlie Bowman. He said, after 10 days, I can smile. I can never expect this kind of support from what I say. I'm also speechless. The Afro Centre did their job beyond imagination. I say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. He said that after 4 years of planning, he thought he had bought the missing bike in April before setting off his trip from the likes of Iran, Nepal, China, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. He had travelled through Europe, visiting numerous nations, including Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, France, and the UK. The full-time content creator with more than 180,000 followers on Instagram and 16,000 Facebook followers had been documenting his journey on social media until his arrival in Nottingham. Well, I'm glad he's got a new bike after him losing it. I really wish him well on the rest of his trip. It's good. We need a good news story like that, especially after that last one there. Let's move on from the BBC guys. Let's see what these guys are saying here. Let me just find the right feed here. Where is... There it is. Like trying to find it there. I wonder when Westminster will get around to transporting Scottish water like this to England. Just saying this to make... Yeah, where's our tankers? I know, it's just ridiculous. So let's see what Al Jazeera are saying here, guys. Got about 6 minutes left. Police review video suspected shooter. Yep, with Charlie Kirk. Dinosaurs, Supercross, and Niagara Bone Keepers preserved its ancient fossils. The last 30 minutes inside the Gaza City Tower before it bombed by Israel. California bill against foreign hits on Desponia splits Indian Americans. Israel wipes out another Gaza family as USCN condemns Doha attack. Today's death toll rises to 42. That's 17 minutes ago, guys. Literally 17 minutes ago while we've been live inside Gaza. Qatar holds funeral for victims of Israeli attack and amid regional solidarity. Yeah, that attack was absolutely outrageous. Nepal's protest death toll reaches 51 as 12,500 prisoners remain on the run. More than 300 South Korean workers return home. NATO states on alert with Russia, Belarus launches about military drills there. I'm covering this on a Rumble video on Monday. Netanyahu, that story there. Will attack on Qatar lead to international isolation of Israel? Well, you'd like to think so, but it's not happened yet. Who was Charlie Kirk? He was an arsehole, took advantage. That's what he is. He was a grifter. He was like Nigel Farage. Gives a little truth, but a lot of lies. Putin has success in all directions. Ukraine retakes part of Donetsk's. Yeah, he's really pushing in Donetsk at the moment, unfortunately. Rescue workers for missing people as deadly Indonesia flood recedes. Yeah, flood's still taking place in Indonesia as well. But at the same time, obviously, the country's not doing well. So some of the stories from Al Jazeera there. Let's have a look at the New York Times, see what's happening here. The footage of Charlie Kirk's perpetrator. Officials asked public for help in finding the gunman. Fear and vigil intensifies in Congress after Kirk's assassination. Kirk's men connected with young conservative men. Jar plus one. Oh, there's a picture of him. Bye-bye, Jar. Goodbye. Yeah. What a shame. What a shame. Yeah, I really don't have... I don't have a lot of sympathy for him. Cause especially how he ran the country as well. Brazil succeeded where the US fails on the right there, piece there. That's a very good way of putting it. Trump politics are endangering your health. Yes, they are. Europe's top 3 leaders are striding on the world stage but stumbling at home. Yeah, this is the I think, yeah, with the exception of the Middle East, they're doing pretty well on the world stage. When it comes to foreign policy, with the exception of Gaza and Israel, they're doing pretty all right on there to a certain extent. I'm saying doing all right, and that's just being kind. Late night calls for bringing the temperature down. Seth Meyers, another host, talk about Charlie Kirk's success and denounce political violence and incendiary rhetoric. Yep. While Donald Trump calls for heads to be rolled. Georgia's ICE raid netted workers with short-term visit visas. That's about the South Korean ones. House moment of silence for Kirk descends into partisan strife. Moment of silence. Yeah, you want to do a moment of silence, yeah, for him. Where the fuck was the moment of silence for the 2 Democrats who were murdered? Or how about when Nancy Pelosi and her husband were their home was interred? Where was any of this? Yeah? It's absolute fucking ridiculous, yeah? None of them gave a shit about the 2 Democrats who got killed. Didn't give a damn. None whatsoever. Hypocrites. Bloody hypocrites. Cruise ship passenger with 16,000 gambling debt jumps overboard. Not interested in that. In the Pacific, unkept US promises on a climate deep cut. Influence campaign brings gleaming cars after a home on Solomon Islands. Oh my god. Nepal in crisis. Capital is choked with smoke and gripped by fear. Nepal social media ban backfires as political moves into a chat room. Yeah, they banned social media. And that only angered Nepal people a lot more. That was a very bad idea from them, guys. On Ukraine and Gaza, Trump casts himself as a bystander. US joins UN Security Council criticism of Israel strikes in Qatar, which is, quite shocking. For the first time, more children are obese than underweight. That's in America. 10 million in contraceptives destroyed from orders from Trump. The birth control pill, IUDs, and hormone implants were bought by USAID for women in low incomes have been sitting in a Belgian warehouse. They destroyed $10 million worth. I'm pretty sure we covered a story similar to this not too long ago. It might have been a couple of weeks ago now. A story like this where we said that because they don't want this kind of stuff, right? I said at the time, just sell it to countries that want it. Sell it to countries that want it, or give it to countries that want it. You know, if you don't want to use it, and you don't want to hold on to it because it's costing you money to store it, give it to countries or sell it to them. But no, instead they tried to destroy the products. Destroy this that could be life-changing for women. $10 million. Because I remember there were other countries were saying, we'll take it. Yes, this is live, Edward. Yes, it's live. They've always been polarized, says Dirty Neck, extreme and lacking in social cohesion. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. When was he ever silent, says Ellie. Yeah, good point. Like I said, we best stop importing these USA politics here. It does us no good at all, says Dirty Neck. Yeah, unfortunately, we have British politicians who want to import it. What about all the kids that were killed in school? Yeah, and Max Robespierre did a video. I know we're wrapping up now, guys. Anyway, Max Robespierre did a video about that. Like, Nigel Farage did a point of order about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Didn't seem to give a shit about kids getting shot all the time in America, claiming that he's his friend. I was like, oh, absolute bloody joke, guys. Absolute bloody joke. Right, guys, so we have passed 12 o'clock, so you know what that means. It is the end of the show, guys. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone coming along. Thank you to those who helped me got over the super chat, over the line for the super chat goal. I really, really appreciate that, because, again, that really does help support me and the work that I do here on this channel. So thank you guys so much for that. It's good to see so many familiar faces as well. There's lots of live streams taking place, guys. I think Phil Morehouse is going to be going live right now on his channel on a different bias if you're going to watch that. I don't know if there's going to be an agenda at 1 o'clock because I think Graham Hughes is over on the international stage right now in Canada. So I don't know if there's going to be an agenda show, but if there is, it'll be at 1 o'clock if they do one. Daily Blase will be going live at 5 o'clock with Friday Frolics. I highly recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. Please go check it out. It is a great show on YouTube. It's really fun. You really will get a great laugh out of it. And likely, I think Max Robespierre will be going live tonight at 8:30 as well. So do check out his YouTube channel. There's a bunch of YouTube channels in the description of this live stream as well, if you guys want to check them out as well. But I am done for live streams for this week. I will be back live tomorrow at 11 a.m. However, I may be dropping a premiere video over the weekend for you guys. However, the chances of me being in the chat is very unlikely. But if you guys want to check that out, feel free to do so as well. So once again, thank you guys all for being here. Again, thank you guys for all your comments. But on your way out, if you can, just before you go, please hit that like button. Share this across social media. Do subscribe to the channel if you like the content on here. And check out some of the other content that's on there as well. But also, Rumble and Patreon has content dropping on both those platforms, which is, by the way, free. You can check out them. Links for both Rumble and Patreon are in the description as well. And you can also join our Discord community, which is free to join as well. So thank you all so much for watching. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon.